fan of pumpkin spice lattes or just pumpkins in general? Now what do you think about cinnamon rolls? Today's recipe combines the best of both worlds and transforms it into an indulgent treat that you soon won't be able to forget. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how to make these cinnamon rolls. Hey everyone, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some pumpkin spice latte cinnamon rolls. Now if these cinnamon rolls sounds very interesting to you and something that you would want to make for yourself, then go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are new here, I'll just stick around for a bit. I make very fun and innovative and educational baking videos every week, and my recipes are approachable to beginners and experienced bakers alike. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified whenever I make a new baking video tutorial or shorts. Now today's cinnamon roll recipe is a lot easier to make than the pumpkin macarons that I attempted to make the last time. And I wasn't joking when I said that macarons were a very temperamental dessert. So if you're more of an advanced baker and you want to see my side attempt at making these macarons and you know that you can do way better than that, and I'll leave the link to that video in the description box down below. You have been warned. Now normally I'd be showing you guys the finished product in advance so you know what to expect, but because these rolls take quite a long time to proof during its second rise, I am showing you what the rolls look like while they're still proofing. Now, while you can proof these rolls at room temperature in 1 or 2 hours, for best results, cover these rolls up with some plastic wrap and store them in the fridge overnight for the best texture, the best flavor, and for the best results. Now, before we begin, I would like to talk to you guys quickly about these pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls. Now, these rolls are slightly adapted from the Brave Tart cookbook, and they are a cross between a pumpkin spice latte and pumpkin cream cheese muffins. Both treats are stuff that I like to enjoy at Starbucks from time to time, and while I haven't enjoyed them since the pandemic, I thought it'd be a nice homage, like mix my two favorites together in this lovely cinnamon rolls. These cinnamon rolls are also inspired by a pumpkin spice coffee creamer that I saw in stores that I just knew I had to include in today's recipe. So there's plenty of that in the dough itself and in the frosting, as well as a very intense pumpkin flavor throughout in the filling and in the dough. And then these cinnamon rolls are then finished off with some caramelized pepitas and hazelnuts, which has a very bittersweet note to them. And while these cinnamon rolls have quite a bit of prep work to be done in advance, once you get those out of the way, these rolls are quickly put together in a snap. And they are done in around 4 to 6 hours if you just don't have the patience, or they'll also be done in 12 hours if you do the overnight option, which is what I'm going to be showing you here. And guys, the smell on these rolls alone will get you guys hooked. And once you taste these cinnamon rolls, you'll never want to go back to another cinnamon roll ever again. And that is a promise. And yes, that is a pretty bold statement to make considering I have yet to bake these rolls. But trust me, you'll see what I mean once you are actually making these and take a sniff of this dough itself. So enough chit chat about these cinnamon rolls. Hopefully I got you guys excited to make these cinnamon rolls as I am excited to bake these cinnamon rolls. So why don't we just go ahead and get started now, shall we? To get started on these pumpkin spice latte cinnamon rolls, we are first going to toast some nuts. So in a large baking tray lined with parchment paper, place 1 cup of hazelnuts and 3/4 cups of pepitas. You know, those little pumpkin seeds that are green. And you're going to toast them in a 350 Fahrenheit or 177 Celsius oven for 10 to 15 minutes or until the nuts have completely toasted and is a nice brown color. While the nuts are toasting, quickly melt 1.5 cups or 340 grams of unsalted butter inside a medium-sized saucepan over medium heat and cook your butter until the milk solids have browned. Divide this butter into 3 containers. 1/2 cup each or 113 grams of the butter to be used for the dough and the filling respectively, and leave the rest of the butter to be used for the candied nuts. Once the nuts have cooled, carefully remove the skin off the hazelnuts and finely chop half of the hazelnuts and give a coarse chop to the rest of them. Repeat this step with the pepitas and finely chop 1/2 cup and coarsely chop the rest. Place the finely chopped nuts
in a separate container to be used for the filling and set the coarsely chopped nuts aside to be candied. Using the same medium-sized saucepan that you use to brown your butter, add in 1/3 cup of your browned butter, 1/3 cup or about 94 grams of dark brown sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of espresso powder and mix together until combined. Place the saucepan on the stovetop to cook over medium heat and allow the sugar mixture to thicken before adding in half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and your coarsely chopped nuts. Stir the nuts in the sugar syrup until it's completely coated before removing from the heat and spreading it evenly onto our large parchment paper lined tray. There might be a little extra grease as you spread the nuts, but don't worry, this will slowly disappear and will be absorbed into the nuts as it cools. Allow the nuts to completely cool before breaking apart into little clusters and set this aside for now. And please, try to resist the urge to snack on these while you make the rest of the rolls. Patience is a virtue after all. In the meantime, we are going to be reducing some pumpkin puree into the pot. And yes, the same one as before. Remember when I told you that I really don't like to wash dishes and that I'm too lazy to do so? Anyways, we are going to add in 2 cups or about 15 ounces of pumpkin puree to the saucepan and cook it over medium heat until the puree has become matte and slightly darker in color. This means that the puree has become more concentrated in flavor and that there's a little less moisture in them. But trust me, you guys, these rolls are still going to be fluffy and moist regardless. Divide the puree into 2 bowls, so basically you're adding in 1 cup per bowl, and place 1 bowl in the fridge to chill and set the other bowl aside to be used for the filling. To make the dough, we're going to add in 3.5 cups or 438 grams of all-purpose flour, half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar, 2¼ teaspoons of instant yeast or active dry yeast, though for best results, you really should bump it up to 1 tablespoon if you are going to be using active dry yeast, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of espresso powder, and 1¼ teaspoon or about 12 grams of salt, and using a whisk, mix together until fully combined. Make a well in the middle for the wet ingredients to go in and add in half a cup or 113 grams of melted brown butter, half a cup or 120 milliliters of this gorgeous pumpkin spice coffee creamer, which is really going to help elevate everything in these cinnamon rolls. Make sure to warm it up a bit first. 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of warmed whole milk and 1 cup of your chilled pumpkin puree, and stir everything together using a spatula until the dough forms into a shaggy ball. It won't be as shaggy as our scallion pancakes dough, but it will still be super soft. Lightly flour your countertop and knead your dough by hand for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the dough has become smooth and elastic. You can also do this in a stand mixer with a dough hook attachment if you wish. Just knead the dough for 7 to 10 minutes on low to medium speed until the dough has become smooth. Once the dough has been kneaded, place the dough back into the bowl and cover with some plastic wrap. Allow the dough to rest for about 1.5 to 2 hours or until the dough has doubled in size. While we are waiting, let's go make the filling. To a medium-sized bowl, add in half a cup or 113 grams of brown butter that's been brought back to room temperature, 3/4 cups or approximately 150 grams of packed brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoons each of nutmeg and ground ginger, 1 teaspoon each of allspice and ground cloves, and half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, and also 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and cream together on medium speed for 3 to 5 minutes or until light and fluffy. Add in the remaining 1 cup of pumpkin puree and continue to mix together until combined and the filling has become smooth. Just look at how creamy and smooth this filling is, you guys, and it smells really good too. I really wish you were here to actually smell this and even sneak a little taste of this too. I won't mind, it really is that good. Almost like a creamy and molten pumpkin pie, if you will. Anyways, set aside your filling for now, and once your dough has fully rested, it's time to wake it up, so to speak. Lightly dust your countertop and roll out your dough until you have a rectangle that's about 18 inches in length and 12 inches in width. Give your filling another quick stir and just plop it all over the dough, just like an edible piece of abstract art. Spread the filling evenly across the surface of the dough and sprinkle your finely chopped nuts over the entire surface of your dough. Make sure to leave about an inch of space at the bottom so that when it's time to roll it up, the dough can stick together more easily and not fall apart. Once you've sprinkled your nuts, roll it from the longer end. Carefully roll up the dough into a tight spiral and measure out the length of your log. Your measurements may vary, but for me, mine measured around 20 inches. Make an indent on your log every 1.5 inches and cut along those lines. Depending on the size of your log, you should end up with 12 or 13 pieces in total. Place each of the rolls into a 9 by 13 parchment paper lined rectangular pan, making sure that the rolls are as close to each other as possible. Admire its ultra-colored goodness and cover it up with some plastic wrap and allow the rolls to proof in the fridge overnight or for about 3 hours at room temperature in a warm environment if you really don't want to wait. But for best results, please try to proof these in the fridge, okay?
Once the rolls have fully proofed, carefully feel how super soft and pillowy your rolls have gotten. Just wait until these are fully baked. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius and allow the cinnamon rolls to stand at room temperature before baking them. Cover your rolls with some tin foil so that they don't brown prematurely and place them in the oven to bake for about 45 minutes before removing the tin foil and continue to bake for another 10 to 15 minutes or until the rolls have a nice golden brown color. Let's make some frosting while the rolls are baking. To a medium-sized bowl, add in 4 ounces or 113 grams of full-fat cream cheese and cream it on medium speed for about 2 minutes or until light and creamy. Add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2.5 teaspoons of some homemade pumpkin spice, 3 tablespoons or 45 milliliters of pumpkin spice creamer, and 1/3 cups or 167 grams of sifted icing sugar, and mix it all together on medium speed until fully combined and the frosting is completely smooth and creamy and folds back into the bowl in these luscious ribbons that you just can't resist to drool at. Ah! When's the rolls gonna be ready? I want the frosties now! Once the cinnamon rolls have fully baked, pour that delicious frosting all over your warm rolls and spread it in an even layer. Sprinkle on your candied nuts from earlier and your cinnamon rolls are finally complete. Just look at how beautiful and delicious these pumpkin cinnamon rolls look. Sprinkle on any extra nuts if desired. And while you can enjoy these on your own, I prefer to enjoy mine with a little cup of coffee with some extra pumpkin spice cream added to it, of course. These cinnamon rolls taste just like your favorite autumnal treat and is the perfect thing to enjoy for breakfast or just as a little pick-me-up. I really hope you enjoyed these rolls, you guys. And there you have it, Pumpkin Spice Latte Cinnamon Rolls. Perfect for fall brunches, your next holiday gathering, or simply as a personal indulgence. These cinnamon rolls will literally knock your socks off, and its spot-on fall flavors and spices will be just as cozy and comforting to you as your favorite cup of coffee. Speaking of which, I had made some coffee to go along with these cinnamon rolls using the pumpkin spice coffee creamer shown here, and I have to say that these cinnamon rolls are spot on. Not only do they taste exactly like a pumpkin spice latte, but the caramelized nuts on top really helps bring in a bitter note to the sweetness of the rolls, which helps balance things out perfectly. So in short, these cinnamon rolls are just perfect. So if you're also a huge fan of pumpkin spice lattes, then these cinnamon rolls are definitely going to be for you as well. So that is it for today's video. I had a really fun time making these cinnamon rolls, and I'm definitely going to be revisiting them in the future. I also have a few more ideas that I want to do using seasonal coffee creamers in general, so stay tuned for more recipes and videos with them being featured. If you enjoyed today's recipe and you like what you see here, please give this video a like and leave a comment down below and tell me what you think of them, especially if you're going to give these cinnamon rolls a try. Share this video so that others can also enjoy these cinnamon rolls and give them a try for themselves. And if you enjoy the baking content that I do on here, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified whenever I make a new baking video tutorial or short. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both usernames are at Tiff's Patisserie, and the full written recipe to today's pumpkin spice latte cinnamon rolls will be on my website, tiffspatisserie.wordpress.com. The link to that is in the description box down below. And until next time, you guys, stay safe out there, peace out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And really good timing too, because I'm pretty sure that my coffee and my cinnamon rolls have gotten quite cool at this point. So I'm just gonna warm these up a little bit. So I'll definitely see you guys next time. Bye!